So if you're running a one-person business, you know this feeling, right? Your calendar is absolutely packed, your to-do list is a mile long, and you've just hit a wall. It feels like the only way forward is to work even more, but you're already completely maxed out. What's the next move? Well, let's dive in and figure that out. Here's the game plan for this explainer. We're going to kick things off with two basic ways to think about growth. Then we'll explore what it means to scale up versus scaling out. After that, we'll learn how to read the signals that tell you it's actually time to grow. And then we'll talk about a really powerful idea, choosing not to grow at all. We'll wrap it up with 3 key questions to help you map out your own path. All right, to really get a grip on how to grow your business, we're going to start somewhere, well, a little weird, a data center. I know, just stick with me on this one. Because it turns out, the problem a website has when it gets flooded with traffic is almost exactly the same problem a founder has when they get flooded with work. Okay, so when a server is overloaded, engineers really only have 2 choices. Option 1, they scale up. They make that one server more powerful. Give it more RAM, a faster processor, the works. Option 2, they scale out. They just add more servers to the system and spread the work across all of them. So it's either make one machine stronger or make the team bigger.
And believe it or not, this is the exact same choice you're facing. You are the server in this analogy. When you're overloaded, you can either upgrade your own capacity or you can add more capacity to your business. The words are different, but the logic, it's identical. Let's break down what that actually looks like for you.
So let's look at that first path, scaling vertically or scaling up. Now, for you, this has nothing to do with computer hardware. It's all about finding ways to produce more value in the same amount of time you're already working. And this is the key. Vertical scaling isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about efficiency and leverage. It's the art of getting more done, creating more value, without adding a single extra hour to your workday. So how on earth do you do that? This right here, this is the light bulb moment. Think about it. Giving a server a faster CPU, for you, that's like deepening your expertise. A writer who learns to write 700 words an hour instead of 400 has just scaled up. Adding more RAM, that's your pricing leverage. Improving your products, you can charge more for it. A better network connection, that's you improving your quality, which means less time wasted on support tickets and refunds. You're making yourself, the core server, way more powerful. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. There's only so much you can upgrade yourself. You're still one person. You still only have 24 hours in a day. Sooner or later, you're going to hit a hard ceiling. And when you hit that limit, you're going to need another option. And that brings us right to our second path, scaling horizontally. This is where you stop trying to make yourself infinitely more efficient and you start adding brand new capacity to your business. You're not upgrading the server anymore, you're adding more servers. And you can do this in 3 main ways. First, you can automate. You let software handle all those repetitive, boring tasks. Second, you can outsource. You delegate specific tasks to talented freelancers who can do them better or faster. And third, you can diversify by adding new products or services that appeal to the audience you already have. I love this rule of thumb. It's just so simple and effective. If a task follows a simple, repeatable pattern, it's a perfect candidate for automation. But if it needs a human touch, creativity, nuance, judgment, that's what you find a person to help with. Okay, so we know the how, but we need to talk about the when. This is so important. Scaling your business just because you feel like you should is a recipe for burnout. The decision to scale has to be a direct response to real signals from your business. It's got to be driven by data, not by ego. So what are these signals? Well, here are 3 huge ones. First, sustained capacity overload. If you've been running at 85% capacity or more for like 3 months straight, your system is under serious strain. Second, unmet demand. Are customer emails piling up? Are you missing deadlines? That's a huge sign you can't handle what's coming in. And third, eroding margins. If you find yourself working more and more just to make the same amount of money, that's not growth. That's a warning light. Just take a moment and be honest with yourself. Do any of those sound familiar? Do you see those signals flashing in your own business? Recognizing them is the absolute first step to making the right move. Now, what if you look at those signals and none of them are really there? This leads us to a really powerful and honestly underrated third option, choosing not to grow at all. And let me be clear, this is not failure. This is an intentional, strategic business decision. This quote just nails it. The default setting in the business world is always more, more, more. But if you don't stop and consciously define what success actually means to you, you're just going to burn out chasing a dream that wasn't even yours in the first place. This is the whole idea behind the Company of One philosophy. It's about building a business that serves your life, not the other way around. It's a mindset that questions growth constantly and values things like freedom, control, and profitability way more than just getting bigger. It's about bravely asking the question, what is actually enough for me?
So to bring this all home and make it super practical, I want to leave you with 3 questions. Think of these as your personal guide to figuring out what comes next for you in your business.
First up, a brutally honest question. If I do nothing, if I don't scale, what actually breaks? Will you start losing clients? Will the business stop being profitable? If the honest answer is, nothing, really, then maybe that pressure you feel to scale isn't coming from the business at all. Second, you have to define your own finish line. What does enough actually look like? Is it a certain income, a certain amount of free time? And just as important, what changes when you get there? Will you actually work less? Take that long vacation? Because if you never define it, you'll never know you've arrived. And finally, the ultimate gut check. Is this push for growth really about building a better, more sustainable business and life for yourself? Or is it maybe a little bit about ego, about status, about keeping up with everyone else? There's no wrong answer here, but being honest about why you want to grow is the key to making a choice you can live with. At the end of the day, the right path is the one that builds the life you actually want to live. I really hope these ideas help you find yours. If you got something out of this explainer, a quick follow, like, or share goes a long way in helping other people find it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.